Imagine waking up in a medieval city and hearing rumors that a mysterious sickness has arrived. Yeah, that's my reaction too. Within days, neighbors begin to disappear. Shops close their doors, church bell rings constantly, and fear spreads faster than the disease itself. This was the terrifying reality faced by millions of people during the Black Death, one of the deadliest pandemics in history. The Black Death struck Europe, Asia, and North Africa during the mid 14th century. Historians estimated that between 25 and 50 million people. Yeah, we're not gonna listen to that. I didn't think that the audio was gonna become a beat. I didn't even listen to it at first, so we're just gonna take this out and be honest. Between 25 and 50 million people died in Europe alone, with millions more perishing across the regions. In some cities, more than half the population was wiped out. The scale of the devastation was so enormous that it permanently changed the course of human history. The disease was caused by a bacteria known as Yersinia pestis. It was commonly spread by fleas that lived on rats. As merchants traveled along major trade routes, rats and fleas unknowingly journeyed with them aboard ships and caravans. What began as a localized outbreak eventually became a catastrophe that crossed continents. Many historians believe the plague originated in Central Asia before moving westward through trade networks. By the time it reached Europe in 1347, it had already claimed countless lives. Merchant ships arriving at ports often carried infected rats. In some cases, sailors were already sick or dead before the ships even docked. Once the disease entered crowded cities, it spread with alarming speeds. The symptoms of the Black Death were horrifying. Victims often developed high fevers, chills, severe weakness, headaches, and painful swelling called buboes. These swollen lymph nodes could appear in the groin, neck, or armpits, and often turn dark in color. Some victims suffer from internal bleeding that caused dark patches on the skin, contributing to the name Black Death. Many people died with just a few days of showing symptoms. The rapid spread of the disease created panic everywhere. It appeared families abandoned sick relatives out of fear of infection, entire households wiped out. Doctors had no understanding of bacteria and often relied on an ineffective treatment. Some believed the plague was caused by bad air, while others thought it was divine punishment with the knowledge of how disease spread. Communities struggled desperately to find answers. As death rats climbed, normal life began to collapse. Farms were abandoned because there were not enough healthy workers to harvest crops. Business shut down. Trade slowed dramatically. In many areas, the number of deaths was so high that mass graves had to be dug. To bury the victims, the constant presence of death left a deep psychological impact on society. The Black Death also transformed the economy. With so many workers gone, labor became scarce. Survivors suddenly found themselves in great demand. Workers could often negotiate better wages and improve living conditions. This shift weakened some traditional social structures and contributed to major economic and political changes throughout Europe. Religious life was affected as well. Many people turned to faith for comfort, while others questioned religious institutions that seemed unable to stop the disaster. Some groups traveled from town to town performing public acts and penance, believing that suffering should earn divine mercy. Fear and confusion sometimes led to the persecution of innocent communities who were falsely blamed for the spread of the disease. Despite the unimaginable suffering it caused, the Black Death helped shape the future. The population decline led to changes in agriculture, labor, and social mobility. Some historians argue that the pandemic accelerated development that contributed to the end of the medieval period and the beginning of a new era in Europe history. Today, Black Death remains one of the most studied events in history. Modern science has identified its cause and explained how it spread, giving us insight that medieval people could never have imagined. While medieval advances have dramatically improved our ability to fight disease, the story of the Black Death serves as a powerful reminder of how vulnerable society can be to pandemics. 7 centuries later, the Black Death continues to fascinate historians, scientists, and the public alike. It was more than a disease, it was a turning point that reshaped civilization, altered economies, and changed the lives of millions forever. Its legacy can still be felt today, making it one of the most significant events in human history.